deliver consistent high purity products to
Bill, thanks for joining me again. You've released an announcement today on Lodestar's Imbin project, which is within the Earaheedy province, a location that's seeing some significant activity of late with respect to Rumble Resources' recent zinc-lead discovery and BPM Minerals also recently pegging ground, which resulted in quite a steep uptick in the share price. It's clear that the Earaheedy is the place to be. In your view, what's so enticing about Lodestar's ground in the Earaheedy, and what are you targeting here?
Good morning, Alex. Yeah, it's to me, the key is scale. I think prior to the Rumble discovery, there was no awareness potentially of the scale of the style of mineralisation that has been discovered so far in the Earaheedy. That was quite a surprise, a very pleasant surprise. Where we are, which is diagonally opposite the area that Rumble are exploring, has got a similar sort of scale of anomalism in relation to copper-gold anomalies on the margin of the Earaheedy in a slightly different environment. But in addition to that, we see that the same stratigraphic sequence continues around on that northern margin, but at this stage it just hasn't had any exploration completed really over it of significance. It's been incidental exploration rather than specific exploration. So the key, I think, for me is the scale and the demonstration of scale, both by Rumble and the demonstration of scale in terms of the copper-gold anomalism over kilometres of strike on our side of the margin. And that's one target, and that's a target that has been explored historically by previous companies. But in terms of scale also, the secondary target, or maybe the primary target eventually, is the quartz arenite horizon, which has been demonstrated to be mineralized by Rumble, and we have kilometers of strike of that again in our tenements. It just requires the initial phase of work to evaluate exactly how significant that might be.
Thanks, Bill. You've alluded to it there, but I'd like to delve into it a little bit deeper if I can. As we mentioned, the Earaheedy is a lucrative province, headlined by Rumble Resources' recent discovery. In your work, are you seeing any similarities between Lodestar's ground and what Rumble have discovered?
Yes, I think, as I said earlier, we have the same stratigraphy on the northern margin of the Earaheedy. We see in the mapping completed by previous explorers that unconformity has been recognised in the field, and the unconformity in the quartz arenite horizon, which is located beneath the Frere formation, the iron formation, has also been shown to be continuous on our side of the basin. So, I view that very favourably. As I said earlier, that there's been no specific exploration over that unit in our ground. What has been explored previously is, as I said earlier, the copper-gold anomalism, which we're very keen to get out there and explore in more detail, but also the iron ore potential in the Frere formation. So we've had prior exploration in our district for iron ore and for the copper-gold, but none previously specifically for zinc-lead silver mineralisation.
And Bill, you've announced some timings around the commencement of the EM survey over Imbin. Can you give us a picture of the works program that you're undertaking now, and when do you expect drills to be spinning at Imbin?
Okay, look, the EM program will be getting underway later this month, and that will undoubtedly generate targets, and that's in relation to our copper-gold type of mineralisation. The other program we're pursuing is to commence soil geochemistry over part of that Yelmer unconformity. And now we plan to cover about 10 kilometres of strike of the Yelmer unconformity, specifically looking for zinc-lead type mineralisation related to that unit. So both those programs will generate targets. In terms of the EM, at this stage it's difficult to determine whether they're going to be walk-up drill targets or whether we need to do some more work to define them in more detail, either by surface EM or some geochemistry over some of the anomalies, just to make sure that they are related to the style of mineralisation we're looking for. And again, in relation to the soil geochemistry over the Yelmer unconformity, I expect that to show some anomalism, which may require infill soil geochemistry before drilling. But just assume that we do find drillable targets in the first pass exploration programs, then we'd be looking at getting out there as soon as possible, and that may be as early as August, I imagine. We'd have to go through the normal channels for statutory approvals for for programs of work and for heritage native title clearance. So that would take a few weeks, but maybe a month or two. Well, probably less, but probably about, say, 6 to 8 weeks. Once we have the clearances, then we can get out there and do the work. So probably looking at August if we generate walk-up dual targets from those programs.
Wonderful. Look, Bill, really appreciate you jumping on. Certainly a fair bit to keep our eye on in terms of what Lodestar's got coming up at Imbin. So we'll be keeping a very close eye on how things progress. Thanks very much for joining me today.
Pleasure, Alex. Thanks.